RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. What's up, guys? This is Tara Devlin, unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Where is everybody? It's all good. Yeah, I gotta figure this out, how I can open the room before I start the stream. Hello, Mike. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, JD. Welcome. People are pouring into the chat room. This is the problem. I gotta figure it out. I keep saying it. I'm sorry. I will figure it out. But figure out how I could do it like they do it over at the Political Voices Network, where I just have the room open and people can hang out in the chat room. Don't have to wait for me to start the stream. But all right, I got a lot to talk about, so we'll talk about that later. How's it sounding? How's it looking? How's it sounding? Hello. Let me see. Do it like they do it over at the Political Voices. It sounds all right. Okay. Guys, where do we begin? Well, thank you for hanging out. We meet here every Friday evening at this time at the 8:30-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Tarabuster YouTube channel, youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster. Nice to see you, Kathy. Welcome. And we are rebroadcast. The show is rebroadcast over on the Progressive Voices channel. I'm also writing and doing videos for the Political Voices Network now, and that's good. The Tara Show on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Political Voices Network with myself and Tara Dublin. So I've seen some of you guys there. Kathy, I saw you over there. And Jim, of course. Jim is a moderator over there. I hope he's okay. I don't see Jim at the moment in the chat room, so gotta wonder. I hope he's all right. And what else? I don't know. And thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News, for all you do to make the world a great place. A better place. What am I saying? It's not that great. We got a lot of work to do yet, right? It's very daunting. Okay, where do we begin? Yes, 1 week and a day until No King's Day. Friday, right. It's Friday. I lose track of the days. And what else was I was just going to say something. Went out of my head. It'll come back. Oh, yeah. Thursday on the Tara Show, we will have Malcolm Nance on the Tara Show at the Political Voices Network, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Almost went out of my head. And so that'll be good because he's really promoting No King's Day, and it's great that he's coming on the show. So, all right, maybe one day this show will also be a contender. Who knows? We do have to build the corporate media. Build the legitimate, actual liberal media, because the corporate media is useless. And I have more examples of that tonight. And yes, I want to talk about the breakup between Trader Trump and the unelected South African sociopath parasite billionaire, but put it in a different context. In fact, tonight, Robyn Roxanne Kincaid and I are filling in for Mike Malloy. We were filling in for Mike all week, and we were pre-recorded today because I had to do this show. So, but we were talking about this, the same, we were going through the, so it's kind of the same in a way, but because I'm writing an article for the Political Voices Network about this too, that one thing which is not being reported by the corporate media, and it is an indication of just how far we've fallen, is they are treating this Elon Musk spat like Elon Musk is the third branch of government. They're not even pointing out, not a once did I hear them anyone on the corporate media. I mean, to me, it seems like low-hanging fruit. It seems like the obvious, especially on a day like today, June 6th, the 81st anniversary of the invasion of Normandy, where our ancestors overthrew, or at least began it was the beginning of the end of the regime that Elon Musk and Trader Trump admire so much. It's a goddamn disgrace, of course. I'm sure you saw Trader Trump in the Oval Office with the German chancellor saying, when they brought up D-Day, and Trader Trump said, "Oh, that wasn't a good day for you." What a fucking baboon, you know? No offense to baboons. What a disgusting, what an embarrassment to humanity. And of course the German chancellor set him straight. Well, it was not it was a good day. It was a good day for humanity. It was a good day for Germany because we were liberated from the Nazi dictatorship. And Trader Trump's like, "Oh, that's true." Because who the fuck? I mean, he's a fucking moron. Excuse my language. It's a goddamn disgrace. Yeah, that's true. No one ever put it to him like that, I guess. It was, oh, wow. Because all he knows is it was a bad day for you. What does he think? That the German people were ecstatic about being under Nazi dictatorship? They were the people who had suffered the longest under that tyranny. So, yeah, they were glad to get rid of him. Not everybody, of course. Not everybody. Just like here, we have a bunch of Trumpanzees who, and I will play, and this is another thing we're going to do. I will play a clip from Fox News that makes me want to puke with Trumpanzees, and we'll go over it. And, you know, talking about Elon Musk and how they admire him, and it's clueless. They're fucking clueless because propaganda works, just like. I could tell you, you know, any student of history knows that authoritarian takeovers always media, the capture of the media precedes and corresponds in the very least with the authoritarian takeover. So that's what we're up against. That's what we're dealing with. So let me begin by going, do we have to go down memory lane? The timeline of the spat between the unelected South African sociopath Parasite and the America's first convicted felon president. Well, of course, let's see. Musk. I wrote it down over here. Musk, whatever. In March, Trump publicly reminded cabinet members that they, not Musk, are in charge of their agencies. And the feud erupts on CBS. On May 27th, Musk criticizes Trump's signature One Big Beautiful Bill, calling it fiscally irresponsible. And I wrote another article. I'm writing a lot of friggin' articles, so I hope you guys are subscribing to the Political Voice of Substack. Because, you know, the corporate media, what are they doing? Nothing. But I wrote another article about the real reasons Elon Musk despises the big beautiful bill. It's not about the reason we despise it, because it will kill people, that it is a disaster, it is an assault on not just on everything. It's an assault on democracy. It's an assault on the rule of law. It's an assault. Buried in there is a provision that says the judiciary cannot hold any member of Congress or any other branch of government in contempt. Meaning, I guess it's a toothless judiciary. There's no. What power does it have then? Just be a good boy or girl? Please, pretty please? Well, we know. I mean, this country is really fucked. If we don't get this shit back, we're done. It's a madhouse, and I don't know. I guess the corporate media is enabling it too. They're making it normal because they're making. Really, has anybody in the chat raise your hand if you heard anyone on the corporate media point out what an absolute disgrace to America the whole spectacle is between the baboon and the parasite. Well, they're both parasites, so. No, I mean, none of them. It seems a perfect opportunity to point out the fact that this is not how it's supposed to work. Hold on a second. Rachel Maddow did? Okay, good. Ed on the chat said Rachel Maddow pointed it out. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised to hear that, because she would. That's good. And okay, so let's begin. Where do I even begin? Oh, well, we were going through the timeline. Let's see. Musk references. Yeah, we know. The fucking. He says he's disappointed, little traitor Trump, because he doesn't want to truly. That's how it began. He didn't want to offend the money bags over there, and then the feud escalates. Saying it will be Musk calling for a new political party. Who the fuck is this guy? That's the other thing. Go away. You're not even American. Right? These are the same people that hate immigrants, unless it's Elon Musk, of course, right? Unless there is an immigrant you should hate. The immigrant that is taking people's jobs. So Trump says, he said that Musk was wearing thin. He's worn thin for everyone. Then he says, Musk goes on about Trump's past deficit increasing policies. And then the Jeffrey Epstein files, which of course we know it's true. Trader Trump, the only reason the Epstein files are not released is because he's in there and he is a rapist. So the discovery that we know about includes Trader Trump raping a 13-year-old girl and slapping her across the face at one point because he wasn't satisfied enough with her performance. That's in the discovery that we know about, okay? But it's more. I'm sure there's more. And then, of course, Musk appears to endorse, well, not appears, he endorses Trump's impeachment. Whatever. But here's the thing. The feud, of course, dominates. Let's not kid ourselves. This could turn at any moment, too, when these monstrosities, because they're trying to pass this assault on America. And I wouldn't doubt if in a week, couple of days even, it's we're going to get another news cycle of reconciliation where Mike Johnson is so happy that he was on the phone with his bestie and they all agreed, let's do something. This is better than nothing. Let's not make the perfect the enemy of the good. That kind of bullshit. All right, Ray Ray. We know you're there, honey. Ray Ray, come on. Come on, honey. Come on, boo-boo. Hi, honey. What are you doing? Oh. Hi, sweetie. It's okay. He's a good boy. I just had to point. He was singing the song of his people again. He's a good boy. So, let's see. Let's start here. Let's play some clips. I'm using the Devlin versus the news background because I like it. Okay? I likes it. Oh, that's not. I don't have the camera set up. Come on, camera. Why do I have to do this every single time? Tell it. Okay, here we go. Oh, I should turn that off. Bum bum bum. Well, you know who that is. That's Joni Ernst. Well, we could talk about her in a second, but because that is also part of my article. It's not up yet at the Political Voices, but it's kind of goes hand in hand because the point is, we all know when was it? Tuesday, a million years ago, when Joni Ernst, we talked about it last week, when we're all going to die. That's her response to her constituents' concerns that Republicans will kill more Americans needlessly. And that's what the CBO scored, by the way. And other independent analysis says that 51,000 Americans will needlessly die, on top of the 35,000 Americans that already needlessly die every year because of lack of health care. Talking about needlessly in the Republican, way. This is what they do. And it's never enough death. It's never enough suffering. But, let's start with Mike Johnson. And the reason I brought up Joni Ernst was because then actually, since I'm talking about it, she goes on with this non-apology. Did we play this non-apology? I don't think so.
My town hall. I was in the process of answering a question that had been asked by an audience member when
she a bitch?
A woman who was extremely distraught screamed out
See the
from
mockery?
the back corner of the auditorium, "People are going to die." And
what a cunt. I'm sorry. I had to say it.
That everyone
see you
the
next Tuesday.
Understood that, yes, we are all going to perish from this earth. So I apologize. And
what a bitch. What an absolute bitch. I didn't mean to say the C word, I know. And here, JD, who's from England, I watch a lot of English TV, and they say that word a lot. That's how I mean it. But, here it's like the worst thing you can ever say, JD. It's like the worst. It's the worst curse ever. So others couldn't be tolerated. The C word you would never dare. It is appropriate for her, though, right, Kathy? Yeah, exactly. She really is. But the reason I'm kind of mixing it together is because that's how she talks to her constituents. That's how Republicans talk to their constituents. She's mocking a woman for having concern that people might die because of the filthy fascist fucks who they know they're going to kill people. They don't care. And we went over it last week because she knows she's lying. She was tickling the racist funny bones, hoping that her constituents will continue to be stupid enough to vote for their own demise. And we went through how Iowa is at the top of all negative measures, the bottom of all positive measures. I mean, this is Republican rule. They're trying to make America like one of their poorly run red states. But they would never do something similar in regard to Elon Musk. Could you imagine? They would never do a video that mocks him or says he just doesn't understand what he's talking about. They all have to lick his ass. And they all have to be like, well, Elon, he's just my good friend is wrong about this. Well, why couldn't Joni make a video like that for her constituents if she really believes that she's in the right? Why couldn't she be like, well, a woman was concerned that people are going to die, but I respectfully disagree. She's, my friend, my constituent is wrong, and and here's why. But then she's not capable of that. Scum. These are scum of the earth. And in fact, when I was talking when Robyn and I were hosting the Mike Malloy show earlier, and she said, now I'm trying to think if it was actually on the air or if we were talking about this offline. But hold on. Here comes the music again. I can't believe how that music comes every time I'm trying to say something. This is Tara Devlin. So, Robyn was saying that forget the cruelty. You know, the whole the saying is the cruelty is the point. It's been adopted since the first maladministration. It's the truth. But at this point, it's beyond cruelty. It's sadism. The cruelty is, a byproduct of the sadism. If it doesn't hurt people, Republicans want nothing to do with it. And that's the truth. The sadism is the point now. They hate this country. They hate their fellow Americans. We've been talking about it for years. No one wants to drink the tears of their fellow Americans more than America's enemies. And that's who they are. That's the Republican Party. So let's play little Mike Johnson. First, I want to preface it with, where is it? I got my videos here. Yeah, this was...
And you know me, I'm a fierce advocate and defender of Article 1. I mean, we are the...
In case you missed it, I know it went by a little fast and I had the window up in a weird way.
And you know me, I'm a fierce advocate and defender of Article 1. I mean, we are the legislative branch. There's a reason the founding fathers put the Congress, the legislative branch...
No shame in their game.
And we're going to vigorously defend that.
You know me. I'm a fierce advocate of Article 1. Really? No, you're not. They have abdicated the Article 1 branch of government. They're nothing but a rubber stamp for the freaking baboon and the sociopath parasite and Putin. Because that's the three branches of government. Republicans think the three branches of government are Trump, Putin, and Elon Musk. Well, here's him today. Mike Johnson. Come on, play.
To keeping the majority in court.
Look. Let me just address the Elon controversy and tell you that I consider Elon a friend. He's obviously brilliant.
Pathetic.
I just told
no,
you
he's not brilliant.
With all the big changes with Doge and everything else.
The big changes that he cost us more money than he pretended to save or purported to save. There was no savings. He cost us more money. And not only that did he cost us money, he cost us in other ways as well. Morally, spiritually, ethically. He cost us unity. He cost us on every level. So, no, he didn't. He's not brilliant. He's not brilliant in the least. And that's another thing I can't stand, the effing corporate media all day. I kept hearing it, too, from people supposedly on the liberal media talking about how, he should just stay in his lane. Elon Musk, he's a genius. Why doesn't he just do what he does best? Innovate. He doesn't innovate shit. He innovates safe spaces for Nazis. That's what he innovates, like all Republicans. He takes things that work and he makes them suck. He makes them worse. That's it. How long did it take him to turn Twitter into a safe space for Nazis? Not long. Because that's, it's very hard to build things up. Building something is difficult. Tearing it down can take seconds. We all saw on September 11th what terrorists can do in mere minutes. We saw that the Trade Center, how many years did it take to build, came down in seconds. That's the Republican way. So it's easy to destroy. It's hard to build. And this country was founded as an antidote to aristocracy, intergenerational aristocracy, and monarchy, that these pricks are so blatantly reestablishing. It's no doubt. What are you talking about? You're a real Article 1 guy. You pathetic worm. Don't they have any dignity? Right? That's the whole thing. Do you have any dignity? Mike Johnson. I'm so sick of them too. The way, I don't know what it is, the way they all talk with this phony inflection in their voice, over enunciating everything, like as if that means they're saying something that's not false. I don't know what it is. They all sound phony as fuck to me. They're fake ass concern, their lies, their dead eyes. The lies, the nonstop lies. And I was looking things up. Every time I was, all the shit that comes out of this guy's mouth, I'm like, is this true? And I'm looking it up. It's not true. He says that the big, beautiful bill that the CBO scored, he said that it's, the CBO is wrong because they're 60% Democrat. Okay? Everything, according to Republicans, you can't trust anything. That's what they have done to this country. This is part of how they have torn us apart. If it's a Democrat that does it, you can't trust it. Not that we're all Americans anymore. This is what I'm talking about, You just can't trust it. And the corporate media feeds into it, too. That's why they'll say, oh, well, this is a Reagan-appointed judge or a Trump-appointed judge or Obama-appointed whatever, right? And it shouldn't be like that. What does it matter? But that's because Republicans have so corrupted this government and that they are corrupt. They're the ones that rig the game. They're the ones, like we just saw today, that an intelligence briefing that, what's her name, Tulsi Gabbard, demanded that it be rewritten to fit their ideology. Not that it was a factual piece of information that people might need to know to keep this country safe. Oh, and we all saw the freak, the 22-year-old that they've put in charge, or a deputy of national security guy, right? Let me see this. Hold on. That 22-year-old? What's the guy's name? It's unbelievable. But they're doing it. I have a suspicion because what I believe is they hope there'll be an attack. They hope, because that will give them an excuse to declare martial law. Yeah, this guy, this fucking freak, this 22-year-old who was mowing lawns about 18 months ago for a living. This is who, all those men who left their last measure of devotion on Omaha Beach. It makes me want to scream looking at this, thinking about it. Their sacrifices, all the sacrifices of every American and every other person, every other human being that gave their life for democracy, that had to stand up to fascists, to conservatives. Make no mistake, that's what it's about, right? We're always standing up somehow, fighting for freedom against conservatives. Right? Am I wrong? What do you think the founders were doing? The founders were the progressives. They were different levels, of course. It's not like they were products of their time. But still, they were progressive. They overthrew a king and an aristocracy that ruled Western civilization for 2,000 years. That's called, that's progress, progressive. The conservatives were the loyalists, pining for the king to trickle on them. So, everywhere, the fascists were all over in the 20th century. When the Nazis rolled into another country and took it over, they did so with the help of that country's conservatives, who turned their backs on their fellow countrymen. It was the liberals, the progressives, who were in the resistance. They were the ones fighting in the woods. They were the ones putting their asses on the line, fighting the conservatives. like in every country that fell to the Nazis. In Norway, Poland, it's all in France, of course, the Vichy French. They wanted the Nazis because they would rather have that than liberals. Because it was all about money and business. They thought, well, who needs liberals? They want unions and shit. It's the same reason Hitler came to power. The conservatives put him in power because they thought they could control him, and then they could box out the Social Democrats, who were, demanding a seat at the table for the working man and woman, the forgotten man and woman. Fucking pathetic. Hold on. And look at this kid. Look at this kid. Look at this effing kid with the eyebrow, doing the Trump eyebrow. That's what he's doing. It's pathetic. They are so unfit, all of them, on every level, unfit to function in a free, modern, democratic, multiracial society. It's clear. They need help. If we ever get this country back, if we win, and we will eventually, I just hope I'm there to see it, but there has to be some radical reforms. And I'm talking about unapologetic education. Patriotic. They want to talk about patriotic education. Teach people that, how fragile democracies are. Teach young people not to be assholes. That's what I always talk about with when they go after, one kid with 700 bills, one trans kid. They don't want to play baseball or whatever the hell, basketball with a trans kid. What are they trying to teach their children? They're teaching them to be as small as they are, as bigoted and ugly and exclusive and mean, cruel as they are. But they should be teaching them that people, there are all kinds of people, there are different people, and everyone is welcome. We can all play in the reindeer games. Not in Republican world. I'm a real Article 2 guy.
It's curious to me what happened this week, and full disclosure, Elon and I had a great conversation, about a half-hour-long talk on Monday this week, Monday morning, and we talked about the big beautiful bill because he was trying to make a joke a couple of days earlier. It can't be big
so
and
funny,
beautiful,
aren't
and
they?
I started the conversation. Oh yes, it can. My friend, it's
Elon,
very
he's
so we talked about all the record level of savings. My friends, no government in the history of mankind has ever cut $1.6 trillion in a piece of legislation. We're doing that here.
Wow, what a goddamn accomplishment.
At the same time, and all these great policy prescriptions. And I talked to Elon
it's so
through all
great.
that and explained.
It's so great. No country, no government in the history of mankind has cut, whatever he said, billions of dollars. Well, that's because it would no longer be a government then. You goddamn disgrace. You freaking traitor. No government has ever cut all that money. Well, because then it wouldn't function. Then it wouldn't function. Why have a government at all? And that's what we're looking at. That's why it's another example. And this is why, come on, there's so many things here that I say that's coming to fruition, The corporate media is enabling this bullshit. None of them will ever point out the fact, you're cutting money that makes the government go around. We need government. Scummy. You scummy fuckers. You're going to cut billions and billions out. What's going to be left? Monstrosities. I'm talking to the Republicans. What'll be left is the serfs and lords. You'll have the rich in their ivory towers, and you'll be out there fighting over the scraps and That's it. Government will do fuck all for you. That's the way the Republicans wanted. They've been dreaming about this for years. And why the Democrats? Please listen to this show. Because they have to point it out. What they're talking about is destroying the pillars of democracy. Everything they go after is a pillar of democracy. We need a functioning society. We need government to function. We deserve that in a shining city on a hill, don't we? But they are kneecapping us at every turn. Exactly. And then on the chat, I see where Ed says SCOTUS granted Doge access to our Social Security information. I mean, they're just fucking corrupt. They just make it up as they go along, too. I mean, that Supreme Court is corrupt. That's why I call it the corrupt and illegitimate Supreme Court. And that's what the Democrats should be saying, too. If you want to change something, you got to get the message out. If you want, just like the American Revolution began in the tea shops with the pamphleteers, people discussing the fact that, we don't need a king and an aristocracy. Look what I got here. Let's talk about it. I mean, it was in whispers because that was committing treason to even think about overthrowing the king and the aristocracy. You're going against God. And in fact, many of the Enlightenment thinkers did end up in prison. So, but that's what we're doing here. Trying to break through the propaganda. And propaganda works, as we know. And I'm going to play that Fox News clip. That'll make you scream. Because it just goes to show you. Propaganda works. Actually, should we play it now? Since I keep talking about it. Why not, right? Here it is. This was on the Fox News Facebook page earlier. Oh my God, that's Staten Island, New York. They went around interviewing all over the place. I didn't realize one place was Staten Island. That's where I grew up. It is filled with not too smart people. Not surprising.
With Trump right now.
That's why I got the fuck out of there. But I know people who still live there. I told you. My neighbors who I grew up next door to, they're in their 80s now. I still talk to them. They're normal people. So there are normal people there. But they all talk about how their friends are all Trumpanzees but simultaneously they're all on all sorts of public assistance. It's the cognitive dissonance. One woman is my friend was saying that she's a Trumpanzee. Her daughter has a very severe developmental disability, has never worked in her life. She's basically a ward of the state. Everything comes from we the people. She gets her medicine, she gets her housing, she gets her pocket money from us, from taxpayers. But this fucking bitch is a Trumpanzee. But it's enough for me. It's enough for me. The government it's like Goldilocks government. The size of government is just right, only in the ways it serves me. Josie Justice on the chat says, I went to high school in Staten Island. You did? When? Where? I went to high school in Staten Island. I went to Newdorp High School. And I went to... Well, I went to Catholic school for a couple of years, but then I went to Newdorp. Oh, my God. Okay. Let's play this from the beginning.
With Trump right now.
I just feel like he's just seeing a little one-sidedness on this one issue, but Elon's great, and he's great for the country.
Fuck you. Okay? Oh, Notre Dame. I'm very familiar. Because I went to St. John Villa for like my freshman year. Then I transferred to New Dorp. My mama's, well, I didn't like going there. And then, it was cheaper.
I think he's right.
If there's too much in there,
Yeah, I think Elon's great. I think he's great. And he's great for the country. Why? Where are you getting this info from? We'll go over how great he is for the country in a minute.
I just feel like he's just seeing a little one-sidedness on this one issue.
Yeah, it's just a little wrong on this one. He's seeing a little. I really love him. He's, he hates the same people I hate. He hurts the same people I want to hurt. Not me yet. He hasn't hurt me yet. And even if he did, I'd probably say I deserved it. New Derp. Yeah, I think that's in New Derp. Where is that? Looks like the ShopRite in Target. Yeah, whatever.
He's great, and he's great for the country.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Explain. How is he great for the country? How is it great when a scumbag South African sociopath parasite cuts jobs, lifelines, cuts people, off at the knees, and then dances on their sufferings? How great is that? This whole video, guys, is a testament to propaganda. They are, they're living proof propaganda works. Let's see. Josie, while you two were in high school in Staten Island, did you know members of the Wu-Tang Clan? No. Although, I heard of them, of course. They were big news growing. I don't know. When was it? They're as old as I am, so it was around the same time they were coming up.
Right.
If there's too much in there or it's going to raise the national debt, they have to do something to reduce that.
Shut up, you see what I'm saying about propagandize? It's going to raise the national debt. It's not, they scream about debt. And it's really sinking in. Well, what's going to happen, honey? Have they been screaming about the national debt since FDR signed Social Security, since the New Deal? We're still going. We get to print our own money. That's how it, it's not like, who has our money? Who's going to come collect? We are. Fucking unbelievable, these people. I'm not an economist, but they are being outraged systemically and systematically by what they're told to be outraged by. Are there any black people in Staten Island? Asked Ed. Yes, there are. But they are contained in certain neighborhoods. That's how it goes on Staten Island. It's very, very segregated. So in St. George, Stapleton, those are like black areas. And then you have the other side of the island. It's literally like that. It's like the island is split in two. But I was out of there, though. I've been out of there for 25 years. But they got hit very hard with the opioid epidemic. And I'm sure it's still going on. It was like the opioid capital of New York. Overdose capital. And I'm not surprised. But there you go. Because that's what hate does to you. It creates a lot of dysfunction. And they're very dysfunctional. There's a lot of anger on Staten Island. It's very crowded, too, now. I haven't been there in a long time, but when my parents were there, this was years ago now. My parents are gone for years. But, when I would go out and visit them, it was, it was just packed. Highland Boulevard is like the main drag, goes from one side of the island to the other. But it's bumper to bumper, bumper to bumper. Because, I don't know. And then people have short fuses, too, and they're just very, dumb. But I guess, people are people everywhere. But the fact that Staten Island is the Republican borough, but yet has all these other problems, and it's typical stupidity. And it's social contagion. We are interdependent species, and they are, they get their identity, I suppose, just like the Trumpanzees anywhere. They get their identity from being Republican, and this is a problem. It's a problem that the Democrats have because they have been very successful, the Republicans, because of their propaganda. They've been very successful turning the Democratic brand into, you're weak, you're woke, which is not a bad thing, but I'm talking about, being woke. And the fact is there are no people more weak than the Republicans. They're the weakest bitches going. I know, I'll do, I wrote another article at the Political Voices Substack about Pete Hegseth taking the names off of the Navy vessels, Harvey Milk, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, because he's a weak baby bitch. I mean, they do this performance of strength. It's the weakest, just like Trader Trump's military parade. Nothing weaker than that. Look at my toys. Look how strong I am. Which strong people, strong societies don't have to do that. Because you're strong. But Pete Hegseth, he performs masculinity like a closet case. Well, he goes after actual heroes, actual courageous heroes, like like a closet case, vilifies openly gay people, because it's a reminder of what he is not, or what the closet case is not. And I guess he feels that with Hegseth, whatever he thinks that erasing actual heroes, I guess we won't have, true examples of courage, and he'll seem more authentic somehow. I don't know. It's something like that. I mean, maybe I'll read a little bit from it later. We'll see how it goes.
He's done a good job so far.
Look at this shit.
He shouldn't say anything about the bill because the bill is better than no bill.
See, the bill is better than no bill. What the are you talking about? Where are you getting this shit? They're getting it from Fox News and from right-wing influencers, literally funded by the Kremlin. Oh, yeah, and then earlier I was saying how they are dismissing, Mike Johnson was dismissing everything that's coming from the CBO. Mike Johnson says that, the CBO is biased. 60% of donors 60% of the CBO are donors to Democrats. And, that is just a fucking lie. We do know that political donation information is public knowledge. You can look this shit up. There's no evidence that the CBO are donors to, or 60% are donors to Democrats. But even if they were, what does that mean? They're not able to do math? They're as corrupt as you are. Is that what you say, Mike Johnson? Because they project their corruption onto others. Like a thief always thinks that everybody else is as devious as they are. You know what I mean? That's who Republicans are. That's why they're always going on about false flags. But when they're the ones like doing the false flags, firing into a police station, yelling justice for George Floyd, right? Things like that, like Umbrella Guy breaking the windows, being a right-wing, being a fascist. He's a member of a white supremacist group. And because they do shit like that. And I guess Mike Johnson thinks that everyone is as weak and spineless and everyone is a liar like he is, the CBO. The CBO is a nonpartisan federal agency whose directors are appointed jointly by House and Senate leadership. The current director is he served under George W. Bush's administration. But don't let Mike Johnson, don't let that get in the way of Mike Johnson's lies. And no one, of course, well, he was talking to Fox News, but no one on the corporate media would ever push back. They would never just do what I do. Take a second and Google it. And then ask him, what are you talking about? There's no evidence. The allegations that the CBO is making shit up, is politically biased or staffed primarily by Democrats, is not supported by any credible records, public records, or reporting or anything. And even if they were Democrats, what are you saying? They're just going to lie. It's a big lie, right? Like he said that the CBO lied about Trader Trump's first bill and how that was such a great thing. And we know that the CBO was wrong on that. And that is not true. It's simply not true. It's been years since the first Trader Trump GOP tax scam, and the receipts are in. So we know it did shit. It did nothing for nobody except the top 1%. For fuck's sake, that's what we know. And then he goes, they don't do dynamic scoring, so that means, you know what dynamic scoring is? This was something that the Republicans, they screamed about. Every time they get their filthy, greed-centered clutches around the neck of power and they try to funnel more money to the top there, it's basically voodoo math, like voodoo economics. What the dynamic scoring is, it's like they want the CBO to account for how the low tax cuts might spur economic growth. Okay, it might spur. They want the CBO to buy into or factor in their fantasy that, well, we say that this tax break for the 1%, this is another one, is going to trickle into mass prosperity, and we want you to score that into the bill. We want you to factor that in to your calculations because we're saying it. We're saying it. We're saying that this tax break is going to pay for itself when nothing can be further from the truth. We know this. We've been living under Reaganomics since Reagan urinated on us and told us it was trickling. So we know that tax cuts don't pay for themselves. We know that it doesn't spur this economic growth that they always talk about. It doesn't. It makes the rich richer. It widens the income gap. That's what it does. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. All right. Yes, actual increase in federal revenue did not materialize at the scale that this is about the first scam. At the scale that the proponents claimed it would. The tax cut added significantly to the deficit, and as predicted by the CBO and other analysts. But there's Mike Johnson saying, oh, the CBO is just lying right to your face. They're liars. They're Democrats, see? Yeah, a Republican would never lie to your face. Or your back. They lie right to... No, they lie to your back. They lie to your face. They lie to your mama's face. They lie to their mama's face. They lie every time they open their mouth. I don't understand. These good Christians, right? They're so good. How do they stand themselves? It's very fascinating to me. I don't know how they do it. I could never. It doesn't make sense to me. Because I don't have that. I'm not a sociopath, I guess. I mean, I know I'm not, but I mean, I guess you gotta be a sociopath? Like, what is it with these people? Mike Johnson. Okay, well, you're a closet case. We know. You got a lot of issues. What is it, though? You pretend to love Jesus, and then you lie to everybody's face so you can kill them. Why? What are you getting out of it? Are you? How do you lay your head on your pillow at night and close your eyes and sleep? Do you ever think of the harm you've done? Do you ever care? That's what I don't get it. They know millions are going to lose their health care. They know millions are going to go hungry. They know the harm, all the harm that's in this bill. Let's see. Oh boy. The bill will add, it's projected by that dang dong it CBO to add between 2.4 trillion and 3.3 trillion to the federal deficit. Even though, that wasn't enough. The 8 trillion the baboon added the first time, right? Let me double check that. It seems like a lot now that I'm saying it. Was it 8 or 2? Let me see. How much did Trader Trump add to the deficit the first maladministration? Let's see what they say. Yeah, it was 2 trillion. Where did I get 8 trillion from? 2 trillion. See, I don't want to be lying up in this bitch. I don't want this bitch to be lying up in this bitch. We want to tell the truth. Yes. See? It is 2 trillion is just as bad, but he wants to double it now and add another trillion on top for shits and giggles. Can you believe all the harm these monsters are doing? Can you believe? So, okay, the surge in debt is expected to put upward pressure, I can't talk, on inflation and interest rates, increasing the cost of living for all Americans. Oh, they really hate this country and the people in it. They hate this fucking guy. Really, they hate him so much that he is so dumb he can't even see it. So what did he just say? It's better than nothing. With his stupid maggot hat. Oh, you dumb bastard. You dummy. You sad, dumb old man. Yeah. Oh, well, you grew up in the great prosperity, right? How old does he look? 70-something? Yeah, you were someone who benefited from all those nasty liberal policies that made the middle class, that created the middle class in the first place. 35% unionized workforce, 90% top marginal tax rate. Oh, but you did it yourself, right? You pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, all by yourself. And you hate those brown people because they were just lounging around in the social safety net hammock that doesn't exist. That's what they were told. Yeah, I'm sure he was a big, fan of Rush Limbaugh. And Fox News is on his TV. He don't watch anything else. He doesn't watch those Democrats. He won't watch Rachel Maddow. Oh, she's a man, right? Fucking people. Okay, the bill will strip health coverage from 11 to 16 million Americans. And it will make it harder for low-income and disabled citizens to access care. It's going to make everything more expensive, in fact, for everyone, healthcare in general. Medicaid and CHIP cuts will remove coverage from millions, with over $850 billion being slashed from programs that help children. You fucking monsters. It also complicates access to the Affordable Care Act, the plans on the exchange, raising costs and barriers to enrollment. Because they want you to die. You're not dying fast enough. Because if you live, you might need help. They don't want to have to stress themselves stepping over you in the street. They don't want to lift their feet over you. It's too much effort. They don't want to have to ask the help to remove you from when you pass out in front of their gated communities. They just want you dead. So, to continue, and it will increase mortality and suffering. Well, that's the Republican. That's the platform, the Republican platform. People are gonna die. That's the platform right there. Let's see. Oh, yes. Yale and University of Pennsylvania study projects, all those liberal universities and their facts and numbers and knowledge. Well, they project a 51,000 additional unnecessary deaths each year if the bill becomes law, on top of the 35,000 that we already have of needless death, as I mentioned earlier. Vulnerable groups, like the group that this mother effer is in, seniors, people with disabilities, and children, are especially harmed by this bill. According to numerous studies, they are targeted, they don't have lobbyists, right? Children and people with disabilities, they fuck them. They're not politically connected. They're not Elon Musk. They're not an unelected South African sociopath billionaire. Let's see. It will worsen inequality and poverty, redistributing. How do you say that? Redistributing wealth from the poor to the rich by slashing safety net programs and extending and expanding tax breaks for the top wealthiest Americans. You monsters. Look at this fucking guy. Just keep thinking about him. Right? What'd he say?
Anything about the bill because the bill is better than no bill. He shouldn't say anything about the bill because the bill is better than no bill.
Is it? Oh, so like a parasite is better than no parasite? Life is better than no life? Opportunity is better than no opportunity? Or, no opportunity? You know what I'm trying to say. The bottom 10% of earners would see their after-tax income fall by 4%, getting, of course, more lower and lower on the ladder, while the top 1% would see their average income increase from $70,000 in the first year, depending on where you fall in the bracket. But this is in the top 1%. And it'll be more as, as it rises. Cuts to food assistance will leave up to 5.4 million people without help, including millions of children, making hunger and hardship worse. The bill exacerbates maternal health crisis by reducing access to maternal care, especially in rural areas. Well, there you go, maggots. You love Jesus, right? You love babies. Well, babies ain't going to be born when, mama, the maternal health crisis. It will make childcare less affordable and accessible, and of course increase stress and financial hardship for families, because that's what Republicans do. If you're not stressed, how will you ever learn the dignity of work? If you're not, living, if your stomach is constantly in a knot and you're not working your 3 uniquely American low-paying jobs with no benefits, no retirement security, no health care, no nothing, no days off, how are you ever going to learn the dignity of work? Who's going to ever teach Trader Trump the dignity of work, I wonder? Or Elon Musk, these motherfuckers. Work requirements for benefits force parents with young children into the workforce. Of course, that will harm children. It will make them vulnerable. God knows. This will harm child development, family stability. Of course it will. That's the Republican way. They're all about the family. They don't want to celebrate gay pride. They want to celebrate families by making their lives worse. If only, I always say, if only they were the Christians they purport to be. If only. If only they were so as pro-family as they purport to be. If only they were as a party of life. Jesus, help us. And of course, this bill specifically targets immigrants in the nation of immigrants and the mixed status families. Bills, if you're married to an immigrant, the bill funds mass deportations, as usual, increasing family separations and harming U.S. citizen children in mixed status families. It restricts the child tax credit, which will harm, it restricts the child tax credit to children whose parents are citizens, disqualifying nearly 2 million citizen children. So if you're a citizen, and your parents aren't citizens, fuck off. Die. Starve. Go die. Cuts to Medicaid, food stamps, other programs will leave tens of millions vulnerable to poverty, illness, hunger. This is the Republican shining city on a hill. It eliminates hundreds of billions in clean energy tax credits, of course, undermining climate action and public health. That the very minimal progress we had made under Biden. These scumbags are like the albatross around our national neck. That's who they are, dragging us back to archaic, filthy energy that the whole world is moving on from. They want to keep us behind. You know, America's supposed to be great America, best in the world. They have inflicted this fascist brain drain on us on every level. You know, no one wants to come here anymore. They're not going to come here. We don't have cancer research, science, medicine, being any kind of science research, nothing. They have set us back decades. And on top of it, the progress that the whole world is moving on, you know, turning renewable energies, that's the future. But they want us to keep sucking on oil, because these masters of the universe that shower these filthy fascists with money in this corrupt money and politics system, they can't seem to figure out another way to make a buck unless they can rape Mother Earth until she's dead. That's it. You know, you can't come up with another way. You would think that maybe the masters of the universe would switch to renewable, the way of the world. But you know how the Republicans are. That's too much progress. And they're just such scumbags. We know, I've talked about it before, in the federal facilities, they have disconnected the EV chargers. You know, they were already there. They were already set up. They didn't have to do shit but leave them alone. And they fucking unplugged them. Oh, but we don't want to force anybody to buy an electric car. It's not about forcing. Now you want to force us to buy a fucking gas guzzler? The hypocrisy will never stop with them. They hate freedom. They hate decency. They hate this country. I wish I was being hyperbolic. I really do. I really wish. I'm not wrong. Anybody, if you have a disagreement, let me know. If I'm wrong, we'll talk about it. And of course, they will increase inequality. I wish that the Democrats would start messaging. Well, listen to me, listen to this show and the Tara Show, and subscribe to the Political Voices Substack and become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. And hit the like and subscribe and all that shit. But I wish they would listen. And, wait, hold on. Hold on. Here's the music. Why are we looking at this guy? I don't know. But I wish they would listen to me and just start saying things like, the income inequality in the United States is worse than it was in ancient Rome. People can understand that. It's the truth. Say things like that. But, you know, we got Chuck Schumer. Fucking Christ. So, yeah, they are increasing inequality even worse. Worse than ancient Rome. We're going to be worse than the worst ever. They're going to be comparing them, like future generations will say we have worse inequality than they had in the United States of America when that poor, sad fledgling experiment died. Not that, not should be. I hope we don't. I hope we don't. I hope we last. I hope that this is the darkness before the dawn. I keep thinking that you know, that's why I don't want to get too excited about the Elon Musk and Trader Trump feud, because I do believe that they're going to get back together and it's going to be a big goddamn to-do. I do hope I'm wrong on that part. They're going to make the most of it. So, you know, fake-ass Mike Johnson, the Article 1 guy, will pass this bill that I'm talking about, this horrible assault on everything that makes humanity, makes life worth living. So they will increase inequality, reduce public health, destabilize families, and, of course, weaken America's global standing and resilience. They've already done that. We will be recovering from this for generations. The Nazis took them 50 years to recover from their brain drain. Let's see. Musk frames the bill as dragging America into decline, but we know why. I wrote an article about it. It's because it doesn't kill enough people. When Republicans say that this is a pork-filled bill, it's spending, tax and spend Dems and all that, what they mean is that anyone can get health care. That there are some people that are still able to get food assistance or disability or, or a hand, a helping hand in any way. That's what they're talking about, because that's pork. That's spending. That's tax and spend. We can't have that. We can have Elon Musk needs that pork. Elon Musk. That's the other thing. When let's go back to this. With the whole thing is just a monstrosity. Let's play the rest of this. So we can stop looking at this fucking guy's face.
It'll accomplish a lot. It'll bring thousands, hundreds of thousands of jobs back to the country.
Where are you getting that
spending
from?
Money,
dummy.
Then hopefully it's because there's a pretty good guarantee that we're going to make it all back and more.
I'm thinking that he's saying that just to calm everything down, because everybody was anti-Musk.
I like Elon, but with this, he's wrong.
Everyone has their opinion on things, and so he's welcome to have that. And I really respect the work that he's doing to try and kind of make our government more efficient.
He's just getting carried away because he's not with Trump right now, so maybe to save his business.
I would probably agree that it should have been tighter and had more cuts in it.
More cuts.
I don't know. The wanton spending that's occurred over the last 4 years is
wanton spending. You see what I'm saying? We're listening to a bunch of people whose brains are mush through fascist propaganda, who watch a news channel that makes its viewers less informed than those who watch no news at all. That was hit with the largest fine against the media company in American history for lying to its viewers. That's what the Democrats have to say. And disparage Fox News. Because you got to tell the truth. These people are propagandized. They're not normal. They are repeating the ignorance that they keep hearing, that's being pounded into their empty heads. They think, are they that stupid? How dare they think that a billionaire gives a shit about them or the country? They don't know. They're not hearing on Fox News that Elon Musk is a con man. They're not hearing the story about how he paid ringers to play video games for him so he can say he was the top 10 in the world. What do you think a man like that, not even a man-child like that, is capable of? Everything's a con. Oh no, he just lies about the video games. He just lies about stupid things like that. No, that's who he is. He's a sociopath. This is it's a symptom of malignant narcissism. You can't just be a player of a video game. You got to be the top 10 in the world. It doesn't matter if you're not. You know you're a fraud. You just want everybody to go, wow, you're the top 10 in the world. It's so pathetic, but it says everything about that personality, which is nothing but a gaping black hole of need and greed where a personality should be. That's Trump. That's Musk. And they keep going on, like on the corporate media. going on about, well, let's play some more clips of Mike Johnson's article. He's a real Article 1 guy. Oh, I think I played that. Yes, I'm going to call him right now. The media wants to know. They're chasing him through the halls of Congress, guys, and they're asking him, hey, you're going to talk to Elon Musk? That's the media. That's the reporters.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to get into details for personal conversations, but it's ongoing.
You spoken this morning?
No, I'm going to call Elon right now.
Fucking unreal. Shameful. Shameful. I'm going to go call Elon right now. Have you spoken this morning? I'm calling him right now. Hold your horses, lady. Don't get your panties in a wad. I'm calling him. Don't worry. I'm calling the dear leader. I'm calling the third branch of government. I hope he reads it.
Friend. I sent him a lot of information via text, hoping he reads it and considers it. And this isn't personal. Policy differences should not be.
I'm hoping he reads it and considers it, because why? He's not an elected representative. You are, bitch. I'm hoping he really agrees with it. I'm hoping, and none of these reporters, with the fucking recorders in his face, none of them are like, hey, you know what a different world it would be? This is what has to happen. That's why I'm so mad. I'm hopping mad right now, if you couldn't tell. I am just hopping mad. That's how I should talk from now on. But I'm mad because what a different world it would be. For example, Harvard, right? All these other educational institutions are caving. They're bending the knee. Apparently, these universities are quietly, they are negotiating with the traitor. Let me see. Yes, I'm just trying to find out which ones are quietly negotiating with traitor Trump. And all they had to do was stick together, right? Harvard is kind of like on their own. They're out on a limb by themselves. But all of the Ivy League schools, every single university in the country, all they had to do was stick together, just like everyone else. Everybody else, every institution, every, media outlet, every newspaper, stick together and go back at these people and fight them. But, instead we get, have you talked to Elon? What they should be saying is, are you a goddamn disgrace? How do you live with yourself? Traitor. All right, guys, we will win eventually. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. This is not the end of the show. It's just the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show. Come on over to youtube.com/see-for-channel/Tarabuster to watch the end of the show. Check out the Tara Show on the Political Voices Network every Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with myself and Tara Dublin. Become a patron, patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Subscribe to the Political Voices Substack. We will win. I have a lot of demands lately. I understand that. But guys, I'm tired, but I'm just kidding. I am tired, but I mean, we're in this together. Right? You know how I feel. I'm of the opinion that everything is the way it is because of propaganda, and we gotta do our part to cut through the noise, cut through the lies. So, yeah. Okay. So back to this. With crack White House, press corps and I guess the reporters in the White House press pool, what they should do is harass the Republicans. I mean, that's all they had to do was say, I mean, are you, how do you live with yourself when you're talking to Elon Musk as if he's the third branch of government? I mean, do you have any dignity? So after a while, you think that maybe some of them, it's like the town halls. You got to stand up to them. Exactly. Thank you, Ed. Welcome to Tara's Shadow Docket. Yes, this is how, I mean, I'm not saying that the Democrats need to curse like me. I do a little swearing, but legally and peacefully. But they need to stop being so mealy-mouthed about everything. I don't know. I mean, really, when you look at Chuck Schumer, he's got to go, man. He's got to go. Retire. I saw him. What was he saying? He was talking about this stupid breakup with, the two parasites. And it was just so, weak. No one believes him. Anyway, no one's going to follow him. He's not like somebody that you're like, oh, what's Chuck Schumer say? Go away, Schumer. Where is the other one? I thought I had another clip of this Johnson. Wait.
Yeah, let me say this. It's very disappointing. Okay, I've come to consider Elon a good friend. He's obviously a very intelligent person, and he's done a lot of great work. With all due respect, my friend.
He's so phony sounding. He's done a lot of great work. The way they talk is just so irritating too. So phony. He's got to be the most miserable fuck in the world when you know him. You know, it's so sad that you got to be a closet case. In this day and age, you're still in the closet, right? God, what do you think? I mean, what a stupid version of God they have. Thank you, Josie Justice, for your super chat. Wonderful. Very generous super chat. We will get through this together. We will. I hope that we get to the other side. We can all laugh about it. Just be like, wow. And I do hope that this is the darkest before the dawn and the reckoning that we need. Like the new Gilded Age. I mean, like the Gilded Age made way. Well, it took decades, but it led to the Progressive Era and then the New Deal. But let me just say, what I was writing about with, it'll be up at the Political Voices Substack, when did the three branches of government include Elon Musk? But, here comes Tara Jr. No! So, and I was doing the research, I found Rutherford B. Hayes, in the first Gilded Age, at the cusp, the dawn of the first Gilded Age, President Rutherford B. Hayes lamented in his diary that America was supposed to be a government of we the people, but it is now a government of corporations, by corporations, and for corporations. And here we are again. But that was a time when the president was not happy about it. The way it's going is we're being basically gaslit, as always, into believing that this is normal. And, I'm only little Tarabuster here, and like I was saying earlier, I didn't hear anyone on the corporate media, even except someone who in the chat brought it up, that Rachel Maddow, I think it was Ed, did a piece about how Elon Musk is not an elected legislator. He's not the third branch of government, but that's what the Democrats need to message, that the Republicans think the three branches of government are Trump, Putin, and Elon Musk. That is the truth. It is a goddamn disgrace. But, and it's true. I mean, it goes to show you the way that they treat their constituents like fools and pawns, and also hosts from which to suck profit and discard. And as I've said for years, they hate their constituents. No one hates their constituents more than the Republicans. They do. They hate them. Trump hates his Trumpanzees. He uses them, of course, as narcissistic supplies, but he hates them because how can you not? You can't respect dupes. The con man does not respect his dupes, his marks. That's how he can lie to their faces. That's how he can go on about how I will restore your SALT deduction, and they all cheer. How can you respect a group of people that cheer when you say you're going to restore something that you took away? Right? How do you respect people? And Joni Ernst that video is emblematic. Clearly, how do you respect your constituents? And you do a video when one of your constituents is concerned. They're all concerned, but one says, people will die. I'm concerned. People will die. And you make a video mocking that person. Oh, there was one woman in the back of the room who yelled out, people will die. 'Cause who gives a shit, right, Joni? You're such a Christian. And at the end of that video, she goes to suggest everybody follow her Lord and Savior. Her Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Well, I wouldn't follow her Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because she's got some fucked up Jesus Christ version that I've never heard of, except in Republican circles. The Jesus Christ she worships is a very sick man. He has no resemblance to the actual Jesus. Right? Worship Jesus. Please. I wish you would, Joni. I really do. What is Republican Jesus? Hate the poor, worship money, ignore the sick, enrich the rich, expel the stranger, throw lots of stones. The more stones, the better. Forget, who he or she without sin casts the first stone. You throw those stones. If they hit you, you hit them back 10 times harder. What has this turn the other cheek ever gotten us? That's what Donald Trump Jr. said. What have we ever gotten from turn the other cheek? Can you fucking believe that? And these people worship these scumbags? Throw lots of stones. Love thyself above all. That's Republican Jesus. And then, of course, mass casualty weapons for all. Forget food or housing. Mass casualty weapons for everyone. I mean, tell me, am I wrong? When I was thirsty, you allowed corporations to pollute my water. When I was vulnerable, you made it legal for banksters to exploit me and take my money. When I was a prisoner, you disappeared me into a gulag in a dictatorship, foreign country. When I was disabled, you allowed Wall Street to raid my Social Security. When I was hungry, you, I guess you called me a taker. You spit on me. You called me a taker. You slapped the food right out of my mouth. When I was old and tired, you raised my retirement age. When I was sick, I was sick. So you repealed my health care. You kicked me off my health care. And when I was a stranger, you built a wall. You vilified me. You lied about me. You attacked me. And you built a wall. And you wanted to put maggots. Maggots wanted to put alligators and razors, right? That's what Trader Trump wanted. I saw this video. Where is it? Maybe I can. I think I have it somewhere. Let me see. We're gonna die. Hold on. Now I can't just play videos off the screen. I have to. There's one more step involved. I gotta upload them. Let me see. Wait a minute. Oh, I don't have it. Come on.
I guess you just have...
Oh, here it is. I got it. Wait. You know what I'll do? I'll do it this way. I'll play it off screen flow. We're a little more lackadaisical on the other side of the Progressive Voices part of the show. Because there's no more... I don't have to worry about the timing cues anymore. Hold on. Let's see. This is eCam. You got to set things up in a certain way. All right, we got this. And then I got to do this. Bing, ba, boom. You could talk amongst yourself. Be-da-da. It's okay. How's everybody doing in the chat? Have you become a patron yet? Have you become a subscriber to the Political Voices Substack? Why not? Come on, eCam, help me out, man. All right, I will copy this. Holy shit. I just heard a weird noise coming out of one of my cats. And I didn't like it, really. All right, let's do this. Let's make this into that. Okay. That's screen flow. And then I will... This is a perfect time to go over to the Patreon page and become a patron while I'm putting a movie in. I hope it'll be worth the wait. Now I lost it. Oh my god. I know, guys. But this is Tarabuster. You know how it is. Everything is done on the fly. Because we don't have any billionaire benefactors. And this is a one-man band over here. Okay. Bumpy bop boop. Oh, come on. I keep hitting the wrong button.
Guess you just have to be...
Okay. It's coming. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Here we go. See? Here comes the movie. I'm bringing it in. I saw this. I had to grab it. I thought it was funny. I made a little short about it. See?
Guess you just have to be prepared to die.
This is the Republican platform. Why is it not showing the whole fucking thing in the window? See? You see what I have to put up with? It's hard. It's hard out here for a pimp. This is the Republican platform.
Guess you just have to be prepared to die. And you'll probably take with you your spouse and one or more of your children.
Okay, so this is the other thing I wanted to play that I came across. See, that when I'm always working, by the way. I had to grab this off my phone as I was sitting drinking my morning coffee and recording things for the show.
An idiot. He's just an idiot.
He's talking about Trump. So this is a guy that worked in the first Trump maladministration. I can't remember his name. Maybe it'll come up. So he's saying Trump is an idiot. Let's start. Hold on, here we go.
He's just an idiot. When Donald Trump was president, I remember crossing that threshold into the Oval Office. And
That's him, Miles Taylor, former chief of staff for the Department of Homeland Security. I'm just saying his name for the people who are on audio only.
not only was this guy not bringing his A game, he didn't have a game. He was winging it.
Miles Taylor and his Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen worked for former President Trump in his administration. Trump once called Secretary Nielsen with a unique solution to stop migrants crossing the border with Mexico.
And she puts the president on speakerphone, and he says that down at the border, he wants to explore what it would take to build a moat. And he goes off on this tangent talking about how we should actually get snakes and alligators and fill this 2,000-mile moat on the border with reptilian creatures so that if someone falls into the moat, they're facing the threat of snakes and alligators. I mean, we're just laughing. You can't make this shit up.
What are you thinking when the President of the United States is enunciating this idea?
I'm a lifelong conservative. I am more Republican than Donald Trump. He is not a conservative. But putting politics aside, engaging with the man, you realize he's an idiot.
Trump has denied knowing Taylor and said he should be prosecuted.
He should be prosecuted for telling the truth.
Well, I guess you just have to be prepared
to die.
Guess you just have to be prepared to die.
And you'll probably take with you your spouse and one or more of your children. But yeah, I know we heard that story before about Trump in the wanting a moat, wanting alligators and snakes and shit. What a fucking monster, you know? That's the brain. And you know what I keep hearing too on corporate media, of course, they're talking about how, oh well, it's true that Trump doesn't receive briefings, right? He's had about 4 national security briefings, and Tulsi Gabbard, who is a traitor in her own right, but she's trying to come up with an idea, or she's proposed getting Fox News producers into the White House, getting them security clearance, as if it matters, because they hand out security clearance like he hands out, I don't know, like he grabs pussies. And, you know, it doesn't matter. He'll just fucking hand them out. But she said that they're considering making the brief into like a news package, like a fake Fox News, it's a fake news package, because he's a moron. And I thought, well, what's the point? Why even bother? Why bother pretending? And then there's other people, and I saw a clip of Adam Schiff talking about this, how Trump is not getting his security briefings. And I guess we should talk about that and say, yeah, that's fucked up. But the fact is, who cares? He's not getting his security briefings. What would he do? We need him? Do we need him, really? He's not offering any ideas. He's just an embarrassment. He's an epically stupid person. Beyond belief. He's got absolutely no redeeming qualities. And he's an ignoramus. So why waste your time? Why waste resources? You know, why even go through the motions of giving him a briefing? Just move it on. Keep it moving, bitch. Because it doesn't matter. He's dumb as F, and it's not going to change. So what are you going to do? Then he's going to give you some stupid thing to implement? Like inject everybody with bleach? Right? I mean, it's the same thing. That's why. The other thing is I should write an article about this, but it'll be a short one. But because I don't know, did I write something about that? Anyway, whatever. I'm writing so many articles. It's all a blur. But traitor Trump is talking about how everything should go to the states, FEMA. Because all of these red states are being hit with natural disasters, and in fact, the red states they're going to get hit more, and there won't be any warning. Because they have fucked the National Weather Service. So, and in fact, I'm sure you saw that clip from the meteorologist in Florida who said that he can't promise being able to give an accurate report because of all of the fuckery that Elon Musk inflicted on this country that he hates. And so they're begging the right-wingers in the red states, they're begging Trader Trump for FEMA, and he's denying it, for FEMA, for help to recover from the natural disasters. And he's denying it. And they're saying that, it should go to the states. Everything should go to the states. Natural or disaster relief is all for the states. Because what's the point then? What's the point of a government? When you defund everything, defund the entire government and split us up into 50 little fiefdoms. What's the point then of government? I mean, Putin is really going to love that. He's already loving it, as we know. We've talked about it before. They've been joking about building statues to Trader Trump. But the real reason he wants everything to the states is because he doesn't want to work. They're lazy. All of them are. Like when Perjury Trader Green and the other Republicans now it's coming out that they didn't read the bill. Well, nobody should be surprised. They don't read any of the bills. They don't. I mean, not that they're going to sit there. They can have a staff read and then, brief them on it. But they don't even bother to do that. Because what do they need to read a bill? They're just gonna do what the dear leader tells them. And then when it gets pointed out, they'll say, well, full disclosure, I didn't read it because blah, blah, blah. That's only your job, bitch. But okay. No, her job is going on Fox News, going on Steve Bannon's show, or whatever other right-wing influencer funded by the Kremlin, so she can spread her poison. That's their job. They are performance artists. They're not legislators. They are the agents of autocracy, going through the motions, pretending that they're representing the people until they can get rid of pesky democracy once and for all. I've been saying that for years. Eventually, they'll get rid of it. Just like in the end of the Roman Republic. In the Roman Republic, if we went back in time, and we talked about it before, and asked the Roman, what kind of government do you have? They would say, we have a republic. And I'm talking about during the time in the Empire. Or, because that's what that's what they thought. That's what they had. It's always been a republic. They had such a strong Republican zeitgeist in their DNA. From the founding of Rome, every Roman knew the story of Brutus, the original Brutus, not the one that was responsible or part of the assassination of Caesar, his ancestor, who had established the republic, who had driven the Etruscan kings out of Rome and made every citizen swear an oath. We shall suffer no king to rule Rome. Every Roman from that day on to the end of the Republic knew that oath, learned it. That was their history. And they had it for 500 years. But it all began with whittling away at the pillars, erasing the lines. And, that's what happens. It happens slowly. And then before you know it, it's beyond repair. But that's part of why he wants things to go to the states, is it will weaken the country. That weakens the federal government. Without a federal government, what do we have? What's the point? Then fucking just everybody break up. We'll get blue states. We'll be America. And they can go be their little shitholes. Their little fascist theocracy shitholes with traitor Trump as their king, and Elon Musk can, who knows, I don't know, he can be somebody that they want to have a beer with, I guess. Fucking idiots who think, I mean, do they really think that Elon Musk, he gives a shit? The guy that dances around with a chainsaw after firing people, that's all he does, is fire people. That's all he's ever done in any company that's been unlucky enough that he buys into them. But yeah, and the reason he wants, see, this whole give it to the states shit too is because Trump is lazy, and so are all of the Republicans. They want all the benefits of civilization, but none of the responsibilities. Like all those idiots we just watched in the Fox News video. They want it for themselves. They want Social Security, Medicare, like that old dude with the stupid hat. He's on Social Security, he's on Medicare, he wants it. He deserves it. But, you know, Trump just wants the trappings of the job. He doesn't want to do the job like the rest of them. He wants the accolade. He wants them to play Hail to the Chief when he walks in the room. He wants them to go, yes, sir. Yes, sir. He wants everyone to talk about him and think about him. Oh, God. But, yeah, I hope the maggots will never learn. This is another thing that pisses me off. And it makes me fear that we won't be able to recover with these right-wing albatrosses around our national necks. I'm talking about these red states, unless the red states are shaken awake mercilessly, without apology. They need to get a clue. But they won't get a clue until Fox News is no more. Until they hear the truth. Or I guess it comes for them. The sting of the lash falls on their shoulders. And all we got to do is, you know, like we did last week, we were talking about Joni Ernst. Go through Joni Ernst's record. Since she's been in office, everything in her state's gotten worse. Worse for people who work for a living, but pretty damn good for all those at the top of the ladder. That's how it always goes with Republicans in charge. It's not, you gotta, at a certain point, you gotta just face the facts that this is on purpose. It's not an accident that the red states are the worst states. That they are the worst that they have the worst health outcomes, education, living wages, environment. They're the shithole states. Right? Poorly run. Every time a Democrat says red state, they need to add poorly run in the front of it. Poorly run red state. I'm trying to look up. Let's see. Poorly run. Oh, God. Just got an error. Come on. Where is it? Poor. Hold on. Poorly run. I have to find it. Red state. Let's see. List. Red states have consistently high murder and violent crime rates than blue states. You wouldn't know it if you watched Fox News. Even when, listen to this, even when controlling for larger cities, which are often Democratic leaning, blue states consistently have a higher murder and crime rate per capita. From 2000 to 2020, the overall murder rate in Trump voting states was 12% higher than in Biden voting states, even after removing murders from the largest cities. States like Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, South Carolina, Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee are frequently near the top of the murder rate stat. Contributing factors include gun ownership, poverty, and lower educational attainment. Makes sense, right? Red states are often net recipients, mostly, meaning of federal funds, meaning they receive more federal spending than they contribute in taxes. Blue states paid from 2018 to 2022, blue states pay nearly 60% of the federal tax receipts, but receive only 53% of contributions, while red states pay 40% and receive 47%, a net transfer of over $1 trillion from blue to red states. Many red states, including Texas, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, and West Virginia, receive a larger share of Medicaid costs covered by the federal government compared to blue states. And that's gonna go. Good luck. He's got to cut more. He's got to cut it all. I really believe. I got to thank Elon Musk for what he's doing. Jesus Christ. Red states generally have lower level of educational attainment, which correlates with lower incomes and shorter life expectancies. Keep voting Republican. People moving from blue to red states often relocate to areas with lower costs of living, but also lower life expectancy. States like Mississippi and West Virginia are frequently cited as among the worst for education and health, with high poverty rates and poor health metrics. Where are you, Democrats? Right? Where's the Democrats on this? How come they don't repeat this incessantly? Right? But the public's perception, online discussions, and informal polls list Mississippi and West Virginia as among the worst-run red states, citing poor performance in health, education, crime, and economic opportunity. Academic studies confirm that poorer red states, like Alabama and Mississippi, have consistently supported Republican candidates despite lagging behind in quality of life indicators for generations. That just says it all. And you know what it says? It says everything that I've been saying, that propaganda works. Oh yeah, let's see what they're talking about. We only have a few minutes. I think like a minute here. Let me look at the leopards eating our faces. Let's see what they are talking about. Oh no. There's the music. All right, guys. Yes, we will win. My name is Tara Devlin. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. We're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Check out the Tara Show every Tuesday and Thursday. The Political Voices Network. YouTube channel. Link is down there in the description with myself and Tara Devlin. We will win this Thursday. Oh, shit. I forgot to mention. We'll have Malcolm Nance on the show Thursday. I'll let the music go. And thank you, Charlie, APS Radio News. Thank you, patrons. Patreon.com/Tara Devlin. See you soon. And I'm going to be on Hal Sparks' show on Monday. I can't believe it. At noon, I will be on Hal Sparks' show. And then Tara Dublin will go on the show after me. She does a regular spot on Hal Sparks on Mondays, but I will be there at noon, and she'll be there at 1. And then I will be on Deadline DC with Brad Bannon at 3 p.m. It's going to be a busy day on Monday. But I'm looking forward. I have never been on Hal Sparks. I'm also looking forward to Brad Bannon, because he's great, and we always have a great conversation. It goes by like so quickly. Hopefully, it'll help the show here, help us get the word out. And yeah, because we got a lot of work to do. What was I saying? Did I finish up with the stats? But yeah, all right. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do still. I gotta finish this article for Political Voices and put it up there. And so please, if you can, you can subscribe to the Political Voices Substack. Well, I don't know, is it free? No, there's a paid version and free. They're really pushing it for the Substack, trying to get the word. Well, we gotta. But you can. I guess it's not. Doesn't cost to follow it on the, on YouTube and all that. But if you can, I know everywhere you go, you're being hit up with the e-begging. But we gotta, that's how we survive. We don't have big billionaire benefactors. We only have each other, and I know you guys do a lot. Who is replacing Randy Rhoads? Asks Errol. I don't know. I think her producer is doing a show. I'm not sure if he's replacing her though. Her producer. I was actually going to reach out to him. What's his name again? I forget. It's escaping me now. And he's been sitting in and using her studio and stuff and doing his show. I was going to reach out to him and ask him to come on the show. All right. I will. I will do a lot of things. Guys, thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Jim, for being the moderator, and Redfoot for being a moderator. And thank you, Jim, for being a moderator at the Tara Show, Tuesday and Thursday, 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. What am I saying? I keep saying 1. In my mind, it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Michael McAndrews. Cool to have Malcolm and to be on Hal's show, Tara. Yeah, I know. I'm happy about it. When Hal was on the Tara Show, it was the first time I talked to him, and I really enjoyed our conversation. He's a man after my own heart, and I listen to his show. I really appreciate the way he brings the receipts, but he brings what I tried to do, bring in the context, history, and other things like that aren't always right at the surface that everybody else is talking about. But Hal does that, and he is just a font of knowledge. Like Robyn Roxanne Kincaid. She's the same way. I mean, Robyn has forgotten more things than I'll ever remember. Or know. As far as history. So. And Mike Malloy. You know, there are certain broadcasters that I really love, and Tom Hartman too. He does that. You learn. I feel like I'm learning something when I'm listening to them, and that's why when we were playing those clips of Joe Rogan, I couldn't believe how stupid, how boring it was. I don't know. I don't know why people listen to him, because it was very boring to me. Just boring, not entertaining, not funny. Sometimes you could watch something that you may not be, you know, it doesn't appeal to you, but you could see, oh, okay, I could see why someone would like it, why it's so popular. But like, you know, WWE, it's not my thing, but okay, I could see why people, you know, think it's fun. But Joe Rogan is just so dumb and just so boring. What is he doing? What is he saying? It's as if he's punch drunk. It's so dull. He's not educating. He's not enlightening. It's just like a bunch of dumb asses. Like, I don't know, dumb dudes who are children. It reminds me of like little boys who don't know anything because they don't have the world and life experience. Sitting around going, like, why? I don't know. Am I wrong about that? No. But it's a popular show. It makes me sad when I was watching. When we were playing the clips, it really makes me kind of weep for the nation. Like, this is what people like? What? All right. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Michael. Yes, you are not wrong, Tara. It's like, it's mind-numbing. Mind-numbing how stupid it is. Yeah, there are MAGA. Joe Rogan also loves MMA fighters who are MAGA supporters. They're fucking stupid. And we played the clip was him saying, they got me. Joe Biden, the State of the Union was pre-recorded. They zoomed in on his watch. You see that? They found out. Are you kidding me, buddy? Are you that easily played? Yes, you are. All right, guys, I gotta go. I got work to do still. And I gotta lay down. I'm tired. I love you. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for all your support. And I will see you on Monday. All right? On Hal's show at noon. Make sure you pop in there and tell everybody that what we do on Friday nights. Tell them to come and hang out with us. And also tell Hal that he should make me a regular. Why not? All right, my loves. And on Brad Bannon show, I'm going to post those links. And so you'll be able to find them on the Twitter and all the other places. The Facebooks, the Twitters, the Discord page. And I love yous. I love yous all. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you. I'll see you on Monday. How's that? I'll see you soon.